Hello friends, it's Nicole here with a cherry on top. Today I'm making an album for my sister. She just got back from a cruise, a Disney cruise, and it was a Halloween theme. So it's perfect for the Spooky Things by Simple Stories collection. I just love this so much, and I'm so happy that I have photos to use it. And so to begin, I'm going to go through the collection kit just to pull out my journaling cards and the tags and cut apart sheets, because I like to use those in my flipbooks, and I'm using a black 4x6 flipbook, and I am also using the trays to just sort out all the embellishments just to make it easier, and it keeps me organized. These trays are great. And so I'm just taking out all the packaging and trying to get myself organized before I start my album. And I'm using the foam stickers, the chipboards. I'm using everything in this collection except for the page kit that I wanted to keep aside so that I can make a layout with that. And so to begin, I'm going to go ahead and use some chipboard and foam stickers to decorate the cover. And I am going to glue the chipboard down. Even though it's adhesive, I want to make sure it doesn't fall off over time because they sit on my shelf. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some more foam stickers. These stickers are so cute, and the little spider is just fun. And I like the color palette as well. And then the bats, this is so cute. I just had fun making this album. So I'm excited to share this process with you. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the black and white gross grain ribbon. It pulls the album cover together really nicely. It's so cute. And I struggled with the bow tie, and I always do. So it takes me a few tries before it gets done the right way, and it's perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and decorate the inside using foam stickers. And I'm just trying to keep it simple, but I just want to add some stickers just to make it more interesting, and it makes the album more appealing. And then I'm going to use the 4x6 cut apart sheet for the cover. Boo, this is so cute, and I just love it. So I'm going to cut this out and pop that in there, but before I do so, I feel like it needs a little something. Just something, nothing major. So I'm going to add some chipboard pieces, and I like the flowers, but it didn't go well. But the little webs are fun. It kind of pulls it together nicely, and so I'm just going to do that. And then add the bat on here using foam strips just to add dimension, because I don't like my albums to be too flat, and that's perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and place this photo in the sleeve. This album's pretty simple, but the embellishments make it really fun. And so I just loved all the pictures that my sister sent me. They're really cute. And then I'm going to cut this out too, and I'm going to use it on the right side. But before I put that in there, I'm going to add some decorated brads just to add dimension and make it look like candy. And then I'm going to move along here, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and make a flip page. So I'm going to cut the 3x4 journaling cards in a strip, and I'm going to use my score tool to score it both sides so that I can create the fold. And then I'm going to use adhesive to mount that down right on the sleeve. Just be careful when you do this to make sure it's straight, because this is not coming up. And when you put that down, it's stuck. Alright, I'm going to cut this photo down just a little bit so that there'll be a nice little border around there, the pattern. And then I'm looking to decorate the cover of the flip page. So I'm just going through, and I am going to add some embellishments using foam strips just to add dimension, and the decorated brad. Love the flowers in this collection. It's not normally a Halloween thing, but it really works. It's so pretty. Alright, I'm just adding some decorated brad, some die cuts, just to make it more fun. And then on the inside, I'm going to go ahead and mount the 4x6 photo carefully to the center there. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the foam stickers right there with some other sentiments and some enamel dots just to pull it together. And now I'm going to cut out a tag so that I can add it to the left side. I'm going to punch a hole in there and use adhesive. Sometimes I use foam strips to pop it up, but I don't want the album to be too bulky. So I'm going to try and maintain how much foam strips I use here. Alright, and then I am looking for something to fill in that space on the right side, some kind of sentiment, and I like this trick or treat, and I'm going to go ahead and pop that down with the foam strip. And if you don't like to use foam strips, that's fine too, you don't have to, it's just a preference of mine. These little witch hats are fun, so I'm going to go ahead and use that, and I know I'm going to use the boo, the ghost, the fabulous, it's so cute. So I'm looking to see how I can add some dimension to it, and then I figured I'm going to just go ahead and do the witch hats first, and then I had a chipboard hat, so I'm like, that'll be cute when it goes. So sometimes I just move back and forth and it all comes together. And then the spider is just super cute, simple but cute. And then I'm going to put this picture in there, and then I'm going to decorate the hat on here with a foam sticker to add dimension with a decorated brad. And I'm just looking for other things to add on here. I don't want to make it too crazy. So I'm going to add some sentiments here, staple it just for fun. And I like the spiders, so I'm going to add yours and pop them in there. And add another photo on that side. And now I'm just looking to see what else I want to do. I think I'm going to do another flip. These journaling cards are so fun. And this one I cut 3 together and then I just folded 1 end because I just want to kind of create one little side flip. And then I am looking for a tag to use. The pumpkin is so fun and I just love it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, punch a hole in it, and I'm going to add some foam strips here. And then I'm going to use my orange string to tie it through there and cut those down a little bit. And I'm looking for a photo. I love this photo of my niece. She's looking at the pumpkin tree, and I just think it's so cute. So I'm going to go with that. And then, of course, I had to add some more pumpkins. I like the ghost chipboard there. And I'm looking for some sentiments to add on the bottom there to kind of pull it all together. And that's pretty much it. And then I'm going to mount this down on the sleeve carefully so that it's straight. And that's done. And then I'm moving on to the next page. I'm looking for a pattern that I want to use. This is a fun pattern. I like it. I'm going to try and use this in a fun way. So I cut the 2 4x6 cards out so that they were together and scored it in the middle to create the flip. And then I'm just adding some foam stickers on there. And then inside, I'm not sure what I want to do. And I think I'm just going to add some more sentiments on this inside. I'm going to go ahead and mount this down. And then I am going to cut another tag, I believe. I'm going to try and get my thoughts together here. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put this down. But I don't think it's going to be on this page. Because my thought was I was going to put that picture next to it, but the sentiment is too big. But I still like it. So I'm just going to move along and do that for another layout. But in the time being, I'm going to cut this tag down a little bit, kind of fill in the white space, and then my sister, if she has any other pictures, because I only have a certain amount, she can put one right on top there, and it'll be fine. Alright, I'm going to get that in there. This is fun. And now I'm going to go ahead and finish this page. Let's see, I'm going to add some layers. I'm going to cut this down a little bit so it can go in there nicely. And then I'm going to I figured I should add some fun tags in this album so my sister can go back and write a little bit about their time together because they really had such a great time. I'm going to go ahead and pop this one here. And I am going to just add a few little embellishments just to make it more fun. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. That's fun. And the flower, and that's it. I'm not trying to get too complicated. I just want this to be a fun little album for my sister. And so I'm looking for another picture. This one will go nicely next to this one. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out what I want to do. I like these journaling cards, so I'm going to cut these out. And I think I'm going to just create a flip. But we'll see. I'm going to score this a little bit because what I'm going to do is just flip it behind the 4x6 card. This pumpkin print is so fun. I'm going to cut this down to 4x6. And then I'm going to mount this little journaling spot right there. And then I'm going to place this down. I love making little flip pockets and stuff. It's just fun. Okay, and now I'm looking for embellishments to add. I like that I'm trying to make sure I put some journaling cards in here for my sister because I'm sure she has lots of stories to tell. So I'm just going to do my best to leave her some space to document her memories. And now I'm just looking for a little something to put on the bottom there. And so I'm going to go ahead and add this down here with a foam strip. And then the pumpkin's so cute. I'm going to go ahead and pop that on there using foam strips for dimension. And I said I wasn't going to use many to, so it doesn't get bulked up, but I failed miserably. And I'm going to cut this photo down just slightly smaller than 3x4 so that it can go in that little flip part at the top there. Alright, and then I am looking for something to tuck in the bottom there. These little tabs with the sentiments are fun. And I don't know what I'm going to do. At the top feels like I need to do something, so I'm just looking for embellishment to kind of fill it in, and that's it. Sometimes you just need one or two embellishments in the right side, and it pulls it together nicely. And now I'm moving along. These photos are so cute. And I'm going to cut this down and use this. I want the spider web because Natalie loved Spider-Man. She's a Marvel fan, and so is her Aunt Nicole. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this. I'm going to cover this side, the right side, with the paper because I don't want that to show. And then I'm going to cut the photo down slightly smaller than 3x4 so that I can put it on there, and then it'll be a nice little border. And then I'm just looking for embellishment to use. I like this sentiment tab here. Oh yeah. So I'm going to put that down there. And now I'm just looking for some fun things to do. The spider web is perfect. And I don't want to cover up that photo too much. So I'm just looking to find some fun ways to add embellishments on the left side. I like the little haunted house. That's fun. And then I'm going to add the bat. This is fun. And then another bat. And then I think I'm going to add just another tag just to fill in some of that little space there. And I'm just cutting it down and punching a hole in there. And I'm going to tuck it right back there. So it's just a fun thing I like to do. And it just brings so much to that little 4x6 card. Just doing that one little thing. And I love small details, so. And now I'm going to go ahead and make another page that will go right on the other side, and it kind of all blends together nicely. And Henry, and he's holding Captain America's shield. He thought that was fun, and he's such a fun kid. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this on here. And I went with the black print paper because I thought it would look nice with that photo because I didn't want the colors to clash. And then these little houses are fun. So I'm going to go ahead and use those. And I'm going to layer one of them on top of the other. So, and then I thought I wanted to add another spider up there, and I didn't see it. So I'm going back just to pop that spider up there, let it dry a little bit before I put it in the sleeve. And I'm just adding some other embellishments on this side, and I like that. I'm just trying to keep the colors from clashing, so I'm just going with the black and white because I think that looks nice. It kind of looks sharp. And then I'm just looking for some other embellishments, but I'm just going to quit and move on. Sometimes I don't know when to stop. This skull print paper, I forgot this was in the collection, so when I happened to flip over that page, I was surprised and happy because I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. This is the perfect picture to go with that photo, that paper. So I'm going to go ahead and place some stickers down, and then I matted this on a 3x4 scrap paper. And now the web, I'm going to pop that up with foam strips, pop that in the corner, and trim off the excess. Super, super cute. And then the enamel dot, or decorative brad, I should say. And then the spiders, I'm going to add that on there. And the owl, it's just so fun. This one came together fast for me because it's just so cute. And I'm just sticking with all the colors that are in the photo. And then I'm going to pop the bat up a little bit. And I'm looking for one little sentiment to put in here to fill in that spot. And this is perfect. And I was going to add an enamel dot, but I'm just going to leave it alone. And move on. And just be careful when you don't cut your edges off, that your pages will not go in. And let's see, I'm going to cut this down to 4x6. And I'm going to use this leftover piece as a mat for this photo. Henry it looks like he had a cupcake that was an eyeball, and that's kind of fun. So my sister made sure she took some pictures because I did tell her I wanted to make this album, so that's fun. And now I'm just looking for embellishments to add on here. I'm going to add the border, the scallop star border here. And then I'm going to add the sentiment here using foam strips to pop it up. And then I'm still looking for something to do with the top there. I don't like that white space. So I'm just like looking through to figure out what I want to do. And I'm going through to see what would work. The balloons won't work there, but I'm going to use them on the left side because they're fun. And cut that down a little bit. And then I think I'm going to just do another tag. Create that box tag look at the top there. Let's see. I don't know. And it's actually upside down, and I wasn't paying attention to that, but that's okay. It's all fun. It's Halloween, you know. It's fun. I'm going to go ahead and tie that there. So fun. And move on. Oh, forgot to cut that down. Alright, I'm getting to the back there. Only a few more pages left. And I am going to use this orange to mat the photo. I think I'm going to keep that floral print because the colors go with the photo of Mickey. So I'm just going to keep it and pop that on here. And now I'm just looking for embellishments. I like the moon, but it wouldn't go. It's too big for the photo. And I didn't want to cover up any faces. And then I wanted to add some journaling spots for my sister to add something in there. So we're going to go with that and add another one. And it's a small area, but she's got plenty of room to journal in this little album already. So just one or two little things she can write down. And then I'm just looking for other things to fill in that space at the top. I'm going to glue this down here. And I'm just looking for other things I can add. And this is fun. Alright, I'm going to pop that in the sleeve. Being careful not to move that because it wasn't completely dry at the top there. And I'm impatient, so I like to glue things and move along. Alright, so now I think I have 2 more pages to do. And I'm just cutting down this I'm just matting pattern paper to the center of the green print, just so that it had a nice little border. And then I'm going to cut this down slightly less than 3 by 4 so it goes in the orange frame. And now I think I'm going to layer some pumpkins. The pumpkins are fun in this collection, so I'm going to use that as a layer. I'm going to layer a few down at the bottom there. I'm just being careful where I place that down, because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this yet. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a tag up there. Glue this behind there and add some string. And then I'm just going to move things around until I'm happy. Figure out what I want to do. This is a fun pumpkin. I'm going to use that. It kind of goes with the hook theme. And then I'm just looking for some other things to do. I'm not really sure about the happy. It's on there, but it's not all the way on there. Just trying to get a feel of how it looks. So these are all lightly placed on here until I figure out what I want to do for the most part. And then I do want to tuck that in there and add a decorated brad. That's just a fun way to use that tab if you're not sure what to do with it. And then I'm going to glue down the scallop border here just to add some layers, because I like to play with layers. And I'm just looking for something else to put on the bottom there. I'm going to glue the little tab at the left side there. And then I decided I do not like the happy, and I didn't want the skull. So I'm trying to peel that off without tearing the paper that much, but I'm going to end up covering it anyway. And I'm going to add some labels on here just for more journaling spots there. And then I'm going to cut the excess down. Alright, and then I'm going to add another pumpkin. They're fun. And I am just looking for something else to do. I feel like I need to add some more layers, so I'm going to add the spider and then this sentiment at the top of the photo. And it's just coming along nicely. This is fun. And then the star chipboard, I'm going to fill in some of that space down there just to make it more festive. And I just love it. And here I am, I'm trying to make more, as much I can. I'm like, I never know when to stop with embellishments. Like, here, can we fit one more thing on here? One. But in the end, I'm like, okay, we gotta stop here. And then I like the ghost. I'm gonna pop him in there to fill in that space up there, because the space was bothering me. And then I'm gonna add some candy, and that's it. And then here's the last page, but I'm going to cover the back there. I want to add something on that back. So I'm going to glue down the chipboard to kind of wrap that last page up here on the back. And then add another sticker and a decorated brad. Okay. And then I just have one more page to do and I'm done. This is a full album. There's 10 sleeves. And that makes 20 pages back to back. I like this print. I wasn't sure how I was going to use it. And I didn't realize most of it got covered anyway with embellishment, but it's okay. I did attempt to use it. And then I'm going to cut another tag. And I think I'm going to leave this one a little bit longer just to add enough space for more journaling. Because throughout the album there's no little tabs that my sister can journal on. So I kind of want to give her some more space there. And that's the whole concept of this page. And I only have one photo left, so this is perfect. I'm going to tie this down, add another decorated brad to the center. And then I am going to add some layers. I'm just looking. And I like the blue chipboard. That's fun. And then I think I'm going to keep this simple. Add some foam stickers, the stars at the top. And then I'm just going to pop that in there. I'm going to leave it alone. So there we go. There's the album. And then I want to glue down a brad, one of the big brads, to the bow. And I'm using a fabric adhesive so that it doesn't fall off. And this is so cute. I love it. I hope you found this inspiring. I hope my sister loves it. And I appreciate you stopping by and watching today. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.